You're listening to the TransformationCoach.me podcast, and I'm your host, Adam Shively. Let's get after it.
All right, my friends. How we doing out there in the internet land? It's your buddy, it's Adam. A little bit, not sick, just my allergies are really acting up right now. I live in Indiana, I'm in the Midwest, and I am on major allergy attack mode. So I just want to apologize for my voice not having its normal Adam full throttle power. Nevertheless, we're going to soldier on. So today, I've got a good one for you. We're going to talk about 6 strategies for eating healthy on a budget. Now, if you guys have been attempting to rehabilitate that lifestyle, eat healthy, and pick the right foods, organic, grass-fed, pasture-raised, those sorts of terms are coming into your grocery list, you know what I'm talking about when it seems like the food industry has us figured out, and they know that we want to make these changes, and they're going to make us pay for it, right? So I know this can be a huge stressor for people, and I'm very, very interested in being efficient and cost-effective, and I'm all borderline, not even borderline, I obsess over it, people. I obsess over efficiency no matter what it is. So I'm really feeling you guys on this one, and I'm going to give you the 6 strategies that I use that can help you reduce the cost of healthy eating. All right? We fired up? Let's do this. All right, the first thing I have to mention is my inspiration for this episode. And it's kind of a funny name, but it's a blog that I just love. It's probably my favorite blog that I like to read. It's called Mr. Money Mustache. You can check it out at MrMoneyMustache.com. I know it's just a goofball sounding name, but this guy has millions of subscribers to his blog. It's kind of a financial, it's actually like an early retirement financial frugal blog, but he has he's very fitness oriented. He and his wife are very health conscious people. So they write a lot about fitness and nutrition and saving money. And I'll put a link in the show notes and in my blog on the specific article that inspired me to do this episode. He talks about reducing your $1,000 per month grocery bill, and he had some great insights there. I was totally inspired by it. Now, on a side note, I don't 100% agree with all the nutritional advice that he gives. Like he talks about using canola oil to cook with because it's really, really cheap. And I wouldn't advise that because I don't consider that to be a very healthy fat source to use. Or I'd rather use something like olive oil, which he does talk about also. But otherwise, the financial principles they talks about in that article are very, very sound. And it's really super interesting. So let's dive on into the 6 strategies I've got to help you lower that grocery bill. Strategy number 1. We have to start thinking about your food as a cost. No, sorry. You have to stop thinking about your food as a cost. See, the allergy meds, they're kicking in, guys. They are kicking in. Earth to Adam. You have to stop thinking about your healthy food as a cost, and you need to start thinking about it as an investment. All right, this is a huge mindset shift, and we have to start thinking in these terms. And it's just a huge deal for so many people. They think, I need to minimize what I'm spending, and we want to do that, but you have to start thinking about the investment that you're getting out of this. And it's tough because, if we're eating healthy foods, then we know that we're more likely to live longer, get sick less, have more energy, have more confidence, avoid disease, and have better overall quality of life. But those are all things that we can't really measure, right? So we can't say, I ate healthy for a month and I increased my lifespan potential by 10%. We can't measure that. And that's why this mindset shift is tough. We get stuck in the present and seeing those dollars go out the window and that upfront expense without being able to see what we're getting out of the deal on the back end. So that mindset shift is huge. And you start thinking about this is an investment. It's an investment in me. It's an investment in my health. It's an investment in who I want to be around for longer, better, more high quality years. All right, so that's the first strategy. Start thinking about all of this as an investment in your health and not a cost. I got it right that time, folks. No edits, as usual. The Adam Special. You get what you get. All right, strategy number 2. Start tracking your weekly grocery bill. Now, I don't really know how common this is, and I was definitely one of those people that just went out and bought what I needed each week without thinking about it. I'm like, okay, need grass-fed beef? Let's buy it. Who cares if it's on sale or not? Full price? Sure, let's buy it. And once I decided to start tracking my weekly grocery spending, I couldn't help but feel that need to improve and become more efficient. Like I said, I really strive for efficiency. I really crave it. And once you get a feel for what your average weekly grocery spending looks like, you're going to start setting goals. And like my goal is to decrease it by 5 to 10% and just see how low I can get it and start making different decisions. And it was a game changer for me. So my strategy number 2 is for you to start tracking your weekly grocery bill. Just keep a spreadsheet, or I'm sure there's all kinds of apps on your phones, or mint.com, or whatever you use, and track what your weekly spending is on the grocery bill, and then set a goal to decrease it by 5 or 10% the next time you go grocery shopping. All right? Okay, strategy number 3. Start thinking about your cost per meal. So now that you are paying closer attention to what your weekly spending is, you're going to have a better understanding of what each item costs, right? And as you put your meals together, I want you to start analyzing your cost per meal and start working on lowering that total. So if you notice that you're spending like $4 or $5 on each meal, let's try to get it down in that $3 range. Or if you guys end up reading the Mr. Money Mustache blog, he talks about $1 per meal. It's crazy. It's crazy. And this guy weighs 185 pounds, so he's not like a little tiny person. All right, so that's very impressive. And I'm still working on that. You know, I weigh 225, so I have to have enough calories to fuel that machine. I can't quite get it down to $1 per meal, but I can hit that $2 to $3 range pretty consistently. But once you start thinking in these terms, again, you'll start making different choices. And you'll say, all right, I can eat grass-fed beef, or I can eat eggs. Eggs is a much lower cost per nutrient value compared to grass-fed beef. Cost per calorie. He talks about that in the Money Mustache blog. So that is the way you want to start thinking. Like, okay, I need a healthy fat. I can do olive oil. That's super cost-effective. Or I can do organic raw almonds, which is still fairly cost-effective when you talk about cost per calorie, but not as much as olive oil. So I could cook my veggies in olive oil instead of putting chopped up raw almonds in there for my healthy fat. So those are the decisions you start to make if you really want to max out that cost efficiency. Strategy number 4, start shopping strategically. So we're kind of bringing this down a little closer to home. So we start off with the weekly bill, then per meal, we start looking at the cost per meal. Then we start thinking about our strategic shopping. All right? So you're going to start to look at food in a much different way, and you're going to be analyzing that cost per meal, cost per serving, cost per calorie, like I talked about in the previous strategy. And just as an example, let's say I need to buy some fruit. I need to use fruit as a carb source. This is going to be common for a lot of us. So I'm going to opt for bananas or apples over berries because the cost per calorie efficiency. The apples and bananas, the efficiency of that cost per calorie is way, way better than berries. All right, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck with things like bananas or apples, especially if they're on sale. All right. So I've also shifted to eating a lot more eggs versus meat because eggs are much more cost per calorie efficient. And I know a lot of you guys out there love those pre-made protein shakes that come in the bottle or that like carton, but you're paying 2 to 3 times what you would actually pay if you bought the same protein in powder form and just made the shake yourself. I'm human power. I want to exercise. I want to move. You're going to burn calories by putting those 2 scoops or that 1 scoop in your almond milk or your water and shaking it yourself, and then you are good to go. It's still in a container, so it takes an extra 15 seconds, and you are paying much, much less. So start shopping strategically. Strategy number 5, if something that you normally eat goes on sale, you buy the hell out of it, all right? You buy the hell out of it. You just buy as many as you can, store it up. If it's something that's perishable, see how long you can freeze it for. Ask them, like if it's meat. So an example, something that's very expensive is my grass-fed beef. And when grass-fed beef goes on sale, I will go into that grocery, fill up my cart, and freeze it for later use, all right? I tend to eat a lot of grass-fed beef, usually around a half pound to a full pound each day, and normally it's $8 a pound. But every once in a while, my local healthy grocery store likes to put it on sale for about $4 a pound, and I just go into attack mode. I'm like, all right, I'm going in there with one mission, to buy as much of this grass-fed beef as they will let me. I've bought it out before. I'm like, give me everything you've got. I'm buying it all. I know how much I eat per day. I know how long this will last. I know how long it'll keep for, and I'm good to go. So I clear out the freezer, and I take no prisoners. I'm filling it up with grass-fed beef. So things like that, if something goes on sale that you normally buy, you just buy as much of it as you can, and you multiply that savings over time. All right. Strategy number 6, building the momentum. Here we go. Strategy number 6. You can look for ways to reduce other types of costs so that you can reinvest those funds into your healthy nutrition plan. There are a few very simple things that a lot of people don't even think about. Like I said, I think the cat's out of the bag. I obsess over efficiency, and I love saving money. I do. I love it. I love it. So I recently broke up with my cable company, and that was so nice. I mean, it feels so good because I feel like they're just screwing us, like, oh, I'll just charge you as much as possible. Then you call them up, you're like, I'm quitting. Like, oh, we'll cut your bill in half. Just stay with us, please. And then a few months later, it's back up to $150 a month or whatever it is. But I just started streaming online. So I use my Apple TV, a little upfront cost there, but it's paid for itself in no time. I do my Netflix. I do my Hulu. I do my Sling TV. I haven't missed a thing. I'm watching all my favorite shows still, and I'm saving over $100 a month. I can take that and I can reinvest it right back into my grocery fund or my retirement or whatever I want. All right, and there are lots of simple ways to reduce your monthly bills with just a little bit of focus. So another example, my wife's going to love this one. So a year ago, I started noticing that we were being really inefficient with our dishwashing process. I've got 2 young kids, and we were just kind of barely rinsing stuff off and just tossing it in there with no rhyme or reason, running the washer every day, sometimes more than once a day. And I just noticed we were having really high electric bills, and I'm not even going to talk about our laundry. I'm not even going there, folks. If you guys have kids, you know what I mean, all right? But with the dishwasher, I'm like, I can fix this. So I took over. No one's allowed to touch the dishes but me. And I just made a little system where I made sure that we maximized that space in there. I got as many dishes in as possible. And now we're only running the dishwasher every 2 to 3 days. And get this, my electric bill, this is the only thing we changed last year. My electric bill, I know that climate change and all that will factor in. But we paid overall over $1,000 less on our electric bill last year. And that was the main change that we made, was the dishwasher, not running it every day or multiple times per day. So things like that, they make a huge, huge difference. That's a whole lot of organic apples with $1,000. Now, you can also do simple things like adjust your thermostat by a couple of degrees. That'll save big on electric bills. Or you can go extreme like me. You guys that are loyal blog and podcast listeners and followers will know about my electric car adventure. It's going really well. Once we got it in town, I'm rocking it. I haven't had to stop for gas in a couple of months now. I'm saving over $200 a month because I don't have to buy gas anymore because I'm driving my sweet little electric Nissan Leaf. It's awesome. So those are just some different ways. You guys can just brainstorm and think about efficiency and where you can reduce just unnecessary spending in other places and redirect that towards your Healthy You Fund. So let's bring it home. Let's bring it back to where we started and talking about you are investing in you. And without that mindset shift, none of the other strategies I talked about are going to stick around for the long term. And I encourage you to stop making excuses like, this is too expensive, because it doesn't have to be if you're willing to put some extra thought and effort into this, guys. Thought and effort. That's your upfront cost. All right, a little bit of time, a little bit of focus, a little bit of effort. And just remember that this is an investment in your health. It's an investment in you. It's an investment in better quality of life and time with the people that care about you and that you care about the most. And that is worth it, my friends. That is 100% worth it. So just try to make some baby steps over these next few weeks. Go through these 6 strategies that I talked about one by one, and let's dig in. Let's actually make a dent in that monthly grocery bill, and let's get you in that investing in you mindset. And we're just going to turn this on its ear and get it to a positive mindset shift, right? Real quick before I wrap up, I want to give you guys a shout out. The Defeat the Cheat group, the Facebook group, has been on fire. We're doing a 5-day fat burning challenge right now. I just love doing the free challenges in there. I created a little archive where you can archive and see all of my previous challenge videos. Got some bonuses in there, so people are really psyched up about that. I just love the energy that I'm getting out of that group. I also really, really appreciate you guys. I'm getting a lot of reviews and some feedback on iTunes. When you guys place a rating or a review on there, it helps me so much. If you're listening to the podcast now, if you haven't left a review, I would just so appreciate that. If you would dive in for a couple of seconds and just review this episode or review the podcast in general, let me know what you think. It's helpful feedback for me, but it also helps me boost in the rankings, the podcast, the ever-important podcast rankings, which it's good for the program, helps us get more ears and eyeballs on the information, and that's what we want to do. We want to help more people. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. As always, I want you to get out there. I want you to own it. Every meal, every workout, every day. I will see you on the next episode.
Hey, before you guys head out, I just wanted to remind you really quickly to come and check out my free Facebook support group, the Defeat the Cheat group. You can head on over to www.defeatthecheat.com. That will redirect you directly to the place where you can join our free Facebook support group. It is awesome. These people are on fire. If you guys struggle with being consistent with your nutrition and your fitness, and you need a little bit of support, a little bit of mojo, a little bit of help, we've got it for you. We've got your back. All nutrition plans, all workout systems are welcome. There's no judgment there. It's no, our program is better than your program. It's about following the program and supporting you on your own transformation journey. I'm telling you, it's awesome. We're doing 14-day challenges. We're sharing recipes, motivational quotes, tips. Every day there's something on there that's going to inspire you. I guarantee it. So come on over, check it out, www.defeatthecheat.com. We'll see you inside the group.